Erie. So there's a group called 55 and Under. So those sisters said, hey, let's go down to Bernie. So there's probably about 15 of us from different communities in the United States. We all met in Bernie. And they were doing all of these things. But in my heart, I majored in special ed. And so I'm really close to my heart. So I would go to that place. And this last time we were, not this time, but in May with the younger sisters, I need a timeout. My brothers and sisters, God's going to tell you at some time to say something. You're thinking, this is the craziest thing but God will put it on your heart. Time in. So I'm talking to this man, and he runs this Casa Betheseda, and he is so tired. He is not broken, but he is so tired. And I go to him and I said, hey, I've got 15 sisters. We're going to come and we're going to work here tomorrow. He says, no, just visit with the client.
With the residents.
With the resident. And this is what God said for me to say. For years, you have been praying for somebody to come and help you. You ask God all the time you need help. We are that help. So this man who never let anybody inside, the next day we painted some of the windows on the outside and we cleaned this front room. Just because God said do that. So we worked there for a couple of days. When we were leaving, I said, I'm coming back. Because sometimes God will put something on your heart and you know that's just what you're supposed to do. Oh, yeah, whatever. He didn't believe me because you know why? People have always said, we're going to come help you, and they'll help for a day or two. It is so overwhelming, they don't come back.
It is overwhelming. We were there 3 weeks, and we didn't get near finished. There was so much more to do. You'll never believe it.
So he wasn't used to people coming back. So when I came, I went to his sister Anita, and I said, Anita, I think this is what God's telling me to do. I'm supposed to go down there to help. Time out. I would love to say I'm a perfect Benedictine. I always go to prayer. I always do that stuff. But no. Time in. I knew that if I went to Mexico, I would need somebody to tell me to get my butt out of bed and go to pray. Did you know that Jackie was my formation director? So I asked Jackie.
And did I say yes right away? No. I had to think, and I said, I am so old. Am I going to be able to do this? Even traveling down there 3 days and 3 days back. And it took me a long time to say, yes, I will go. And that was the best yes I've made in a long time. I am so glad I went. Will I go back? I don't know. It may take me another 6 months to decide that question, but I'm glad I went.
So we went down to Bethesda. And I want to show you this video of the beautiful children that God has. Let me rewind this. Whoops.
We wanted to start by showing you the people who live there, the men and the women. And since both of us have been in special ed work,
I don't know how to make noise.
We were comfortable with the people.
Tell me how to do that again. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Sister Jackie?
Yeah.
How long do these people normally stay at Casa Bethesda?
They've been there most of their lives. Their parents or whomever brought them and left them when they were children, very small children. And now they're 50, 60 years old. So they've been there a long time.
All right, we're going to see if this works.
Wildflowers, you belong in a boat out at sea. Sail away, kill off the hours. You somewhere all bright and new. I have seen
Little ear.
no other who compares with you. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea.
But guys are
You
brothers.
belong with
Hey,
your
they-
love on
Because
your
they fight
own.
all the time.
You
That's a black eye.
belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, go find a lover. Run away, let your heart be your guide. You deserve the deepest of cover. You belong in that home by and by. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me, far away from your
wanted my cross
trouble
necklace.
and
Got 'em.
worry. You belong somewhere you
That's what I need.
feel
Hear
free.
about that.
You belong somewhere you feel free.
When they were taking these pictures, the people living there loved them. And they couldn't wait to see their pictures up on the wall. So you'll probably see is that a picture of that there? Yes, picture of everybody. Their pictures are posted on the wall. They're so excited when that happened. They were thrilled.
And just to give you a heads up about that Pastor Paulino and his wife's a nurse. And so from that, she would work in during the night. So during the day, she would sleep. But what happened is this grandmother, my brothers and sisters, I just got to let you know, God works. God is a goofy God and he will do crazy things. One day he answers the door and there's this grandmother and says, I can't take care of this. I can't take care of him. And she just left her grandson with the pastor and he was Downs. So the pastor, what are we going to do? Take care of him, right? Started, and then two people showed up. And the wife, she's a beautiful woman. Don't get me wrong. But she says, look, because the kids would be running around and screaming during the day when she's trying to sleep. She says, you got to do something about this, man. This isn't going to work. So they found a place. And that's how it started. I need your help. And how many times does somebody come to you and say, hey, I need some help? We just do it, right? So when we started, this is what it looked like. And this is David. You're going to love David. And David, those are his ears. Somebody drew that picture of him. Okay. And that was like he was the only one on the wall. Come on, Jackie.
There's a picture there on the wall. Somebody drew a picture of him and it was the only picture on that wall.
Yeah.
And I don't know, did he want his picture taken down? I think we left it up there.
Yeah, we took it down, but he found it and he put it back up. Huh. You got to know that a lot of them are nonverbal. And so Jackie doesn't speak any English and
Any Spanish. And
any Spanish.
I think I speak some English. I
Spanish.
spoke no Spanish, they didn't understand any English. So our communication was,
We could not have done this without there's like some families that gave us some money. And so I've got to tell you that because when we showed up here, he said, "Can you paint this room?" I said, "Okay." I need to wash the walls, but they didn't have buckets or rags. And they didn't even have water.
no trash cans, no, nothing.
Mm-hmm. So, and I knew they didn't have water because of the last time. So I brought in gallons of water, but they didn't have any soap. So I asked the guy, like, okay, we're gonna paint. So first we got to wash the walls. Well, we didn't have any of the things that we needed, so we went to Home Depot. And just to say this, I went to the Home Depot on the Mexico side, so that we would leave the money there. And whoops, wrong one. Okay, just a second.
It changed.
Ah. So you see that duck? The guy likes blue. So he went and started painting, he wanted it blue. It's just hard to explain this. On the wall, they had just taken string and they just put up a piece of material and they sold it, and you can see that was their curtains. And so they didn't really have any kind of window treatments. Is that what you call it? Curtains. So my brothers and sisters, you would just start to clean. You just cleaned.
This is the kitchen.
This is the living room.
That was the living room.
Yeah, remember how they had the
okay.
freezers by the door. So this is a freezer, but they use it as a place to store food because the bugs are so bad. It was
roaches everywhere.
And so we would go in and they would be eating. They only had like these two little tables, like what you would see in an old cafe. And there would be a roach crawling across the table and they would just brush it off. And I thought, oh my God, that's disgusting. But my brothers and sisters, after 3 weeks there, at the beginning, I felt like I was just covered. I would come home back to the States and I would go straight and just take a shower, take all my clothes off and put them in the wash. I was lucky I could do that. They couldn't. They just have to live with these bugs. And you go to clean like the ceiling and you're wiping it down, and as you're wiping, bugs are just falling on the floor. I cannot explain to you. We would clean some cabinets.
You open the drawers and hundreds of bugs come pouring out. And I think with their frustration, they didn't sort anything out, so everything was stuffed in. So I was trying to clean out the drawers, and way in the back would be cans of food that they forgot they were even back there because everything else was stuck in. And hundreds of roaches came pouring out. Each drawer I opened or each shelf I opened.
Everything you opened. Everything. And so, and you got to think about the way that they live. Everything's important. These papers are important. They don't know what they're going to need with them, but they're important. So Jackie's there with David, and she's just taking it and throwing it away, and there's just bugs. And they're saying, wait, and they're going through this to save it.
Yeah, and the food may be 10 years old. And
medicine.
Yeah. People donated things and it got stuck in the drawers and they just kept stuffing them in.
And you would see like the Band-Aids and there would be like roach poop all over them. And the medicine had like poop. And so when we would throw it away, they were just so like, can you imagine somebody coming into your house and just taking your stuff and throwing it away? So they had to build up a trust with us because we took some stuff and we would bring things. Like one day we just went the whole time and bought alcohol and Band-Aids and Neosporin and Pepto-Bismol and
aspirin, everything that had been outdated and we threw away. We bought all fresh things for them. So
it took them a bit to trust us that what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would just, and like, look how clean that wall is now. We were getting ready to paint it. And so, yeah, cockroaches. I just ended up painting a cockroach. I wanted to say, go home and tell your friend this is what's going to happen if you come back. They were just, I can't explain it. It was just, they were just everywhere. But look at that wall now. Isn't that beautiful?
Look at the smiles.
I know. And notice that door, because you're going to see that door a little bit later. So we painted this room. And we also, whoops, Jackie has them outside, and they are
putting their pictures in frames. The pictures we took, got them developed. They're putting them in the frames to hang them up. And look at all of them coming to help because they loved doing things.
yeah. And they would look at each other's pictures and just brat. Yeah, like there's a lot of them were nonverbal, but you can.
Yeah, and
they
they
were
would
just
grab
so
somebody
excited.
and say,
Yeah.
there they are. All their
So we put them all up on the wall. And of course, David is still there. You can see him. See him right here? He's like still there. There's David, and he's also someplace. Here's David, and here's David. And we put the pastor and his wife in the middle. And these two, this is Santa and Aurelia. No, Aurelia.
Aurelia.
Really. They're kind of help, so we put everybody else around them. We got them a couch the last time we were there, and we put covering on it so that they could sit on it. Whoops. I want to go back one. Can I go back, Jill? Just. Oh, doo-doo. What did I just do?
I don't think you.
Here she comes. So just in this room, you can't, when you're working there, you just can't go and take a picture of everything you did, right? I mean, there's the dignity of the person. So if you can notice, we got window units for them. And in this room, Jackie, you want to talk about this one? Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
In this room, there's a TV, and when the young people wanted to watch TV, they sat on the floor because they didn't have any chairs except that couch. So Teresa brought folding chairs for them to sit on, and every afternoon they would come in and watch Disney because Teresa put Disney on their TV, and they loved it.
Mm-hmm.
They would sit there and watch and watch.
But if you can see, we got blinds, and we put blinds up so that they could just to brighten the place up. And like I told you earlier, Jackie, don't go anywhere. Tell them about these women.
Those the two women standing tall, Marty and Maria. Those two women have a bedroom.
No, tell them about feeding them.
Oh, feeding them. Okay, I forgot. I can't see what they were doing. They had to have their food pureed. And so these two would stand there and feed the others their food. And their medicine was mixed in with their food. So they had to make sure they ate it all. And they would do a pretty hustle kind of, let's get this job done. But those two women also bathed everybody and dressed them. They were amazing, and they were residents themselves. So this Casa Bethesda they only have one hired staff member, and that's the cook. So the residents help each other. They are so caring, and not everybody eats in this room. Some of them eat in another building. And so David and another one of the young men come and take their food over to the other building for them to eat.
And I kind of need you to remember, these are called chucks. It's what you put on a bed underneath somebody at the hospital so it doesn't leak. So that's what they would kind of use as bibs.
And they also used those as sheets. They didn't have any sheets on their beds or any pillows.
Where are you going?
I'm moving.
So then we got some chairs and tables so that they could eat in there. And you see that blue, that was what they had to sit in and to eat. I want to say one more thing. So I came in and I would mop the floor and clean it up and sweep it and mop it. Looks good. Come in the next day and it's like, oh my gosh. So I'd have to mop it again, put everything away. Looks good. Next day, what happened? Sweep and mop again. The next day, I came in and they had swept and mopped. So my brothers
And they were doing that every day. They were cleaning. Every day they cleaned, swept, and mopped those floors. After they got an example of this is what it needs to look like or feels so much better when it's clean, they started cleaning that kitchen and the community room. I call it a community room. I don't know what what did they call it?
I don't know.
And
But Jackie is right. My brothers and sisters, sometimes you have to do something over and over and over until, and you set the example, and then you set the example, then you set the, I mean, I have to have that for prayer. These people are showing up for prayer. I need to go to prayer. Oh, I got to go to prayer because I see the example. So whatever you're doing out there, it's not going to catch the first time, and it might not catch after the 40th time, but you still do it.
and eventually
Mm-hmm.
good things happen.
Mm-hmm. And so when we got there, look at this picture, Jackie. I just don't want you to walk off.
Oh, that's the kitchen. That's
So-
the kitchen.
That's the kitchen. And so, my brothers and sisters, they didn't have any kind of brooms or mops or garbage cans or buckets or anything. So that's what we had to do. And so we finished that community room, if Jackie wants to call it. And then this starts the kitchen. So I went to him, to the pastor, and I said, hey, can I paint your kitchen? And he says, I said, it won't take me long. So he let me paint the kitchen. So what do? You start washing a wall and doing it. But I want you to see the space by the refrigerator, because that's going to come up in a minute. And whoops, I'm going to go back once. Well, that's just okay. You paint as far as I could paint, and then I have to move the refrigerator, and you clean the floor, and you keep painting.
And they had a lot of cats running around in their house.
But you see, this is the only kind of shelving they had. And do you know what bugs live in? How they get into your house? Food,
Cardboard.
cardboard, and sacks. So if you look here, you see all the cardboard and the sacks and stuff everywhere. So we knew we needed to get that out. And we needed just to do something with the window, with everything. We just need, oh my God, the bugs were so bad. I feel like I'm back there.
Yeah.
So what do? You just start
And that's when we started
painting.
painting, washing, cleaning out.
And we bought these, you see the shelves in the back? We got those, I don't know what you put them together, right? So we got those and we put it there. And the next day we came in, it was full because they had started putting stuff on there.
They put everything back real fast.
And remember that door? I said, remember that door? Doesn't it look cute? Oh my gosh. Hey, guess who made the curtains?
Isn't that neat? Looks good, doesn't it?
It does, Jackie. And we got her that apron and she was using it every day. She would hang it up on that. So we started the kitchen. What were you going to say, Jackie?
I was just going to say that door goes into one door went into where the ladies lived. The other door went into the place where the people in wheelchairs and can't walk, can't talk. They live on the other side of that big community room.
So we just started painting the kitchen. And you would just do it in sections because they're cooking 2 meals in there, and so just did that. And I don't know what that is up there.
Okay.
Especially up in this corner. Only thing I did was I just got a garbage can up there and I just put it in there. I don't know what it was. I don't want to know what it was. But you would clean the window and you would clean the tops and you would do all of this stuff. And so my brothers and sisters, we were there for about 3 weeks, but we got a bunch of roach motels. I don't know what they're called. Roach bait. We took boric acid, and after I had cleaned all of that, I put boric acid up there. By the time we were leaving, there was hardly any roaches. I know. And so then you have to teach them and say, okay, in 2 months, at the end of February, put boric acid up here. We bought them all new roach traps. Put these in the drawers. Because they just had an infestation. So Jackie and I, we cleaned and
I didn't do any climbing, I have to admit that. Teresa did all the climbing.
yeah. And so you would open up a thing and it's just overwhelming. You would open it up, it's like, oh, okay, here we go. And that's like all this stuff down here. That's nothing but roach poop. There's dead roaches up there. So it's just like, following this way of life, being a Christian, being what God is calling you to do, it's not supposed to be easy, right? It's supposed to be kind of hard and disgusting. It's supposed to be, or if it was easy, wouldn't we all be doing it? It's hard. At least that's what I tell my kids. If you're going to follow God, it's not going to be easy. We just kept washing and painting until it looks like that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
So, like Jackie said, they would have to puree their food. Puree their food. And so this is Aurelia. When she was 15 or 16, her parents died, maybe younger. And her aunt started taking care of her, but her aunt would beat her. So she would run away. And then she'd be living on the streets and the cops would come and pick her up and take her back home, get beaten. So she would run away. And finally, after the second or third time, they finally just took her to this Casa Betheseda. Like, can't do anything with you. She's been there for 35 years. Very smart. Takes care of all of their medicines, feeds them, cooks for them. They call her the Heffy, the boss. And if she comes into to straighten up those boys, they're afraid of them. One of the girls, she told him to do something, and the Heffy, Aurelia, says, you need to do this. And the girls, we are already scared of you. We're doing it. She's beautiful, isn't she? So my brothers and sisters, remember that window and that pink? And now look at it. And one of the things that we did is, I don't know, can you see these big containers? So all of their milk, all of their flour, all of their corn, we just bought these big containers. Because where do cockroaches live? In cardboard and in paper sacks. So we try to get rid of all of that. And look how they've already put stuff all over there. Look at those Mardi Gras beads. They are ready. This is my niece, by the way. She used to live in San Antonio, which is about 2 hours from where we were. And God is a goofy God. He just happened to have her going to a wedding on Friday. And so she came up on a Sunday and stayed until Wednesday.
She brought a lot of shelving and helped put things together.
So now we've done the community room and the kitchen. So Jackie showed you that door. We thought, So you have to be diplomatic and can I paint one of the bedrooms? So we go look and see about the bedrooms, and this is what we come across.
There's 2 young ladies that live there. The 2 that were feeding the people, they live in this room. And I think when donations come in, they just get thrown in. Those clothes and everything are thrown in. And when they need something to wear, they would dig through it and find something to put on to wear. And the dirty clothes just, they didn't have washers and dryers like we do. The dirty clothes just got thrown in stacks too. So that's why it looks like this. And I know people are trying to be generous when they donate things, but my thought is, why not ask what size do they need and just bring? I need size 10, I need size 12 for a girl, I need size blah for a man, but
There was clothes. There were a lot of clothes. And probably 70–80% of them were dirty. Because remember, I have to bring in water just to clean with because they don't have water. So how are they going to wash clothes? And if there's 22 people living there, how are you going to wash all those clothes? My niece came and she brought these shelvings and she got the guys to help her. And that was so much fun watching those guys help her.
they loved it.
Yeah. And you got to notice she has these protective glasses on. You have to know that because she was wearing them, but you're going to see what happens to them. That's David and Hugo. Hugo, he's deaf and he couldn't talk. He's mute. And so everything is just his facial expression. Yeah. So we started making these shelves. But I had two girls that were down below. This was up on a level. And so we brought the shelving down there so that
They
the two
could
girls.
handle it.
Oh my gosh. And this is Lucia. Lucia's down here in the wheelchair. When Pastor Paulina came in, she showed them, she goes, Forte, Forte, like I'm strong. Because she put those together. I know. Hugo stole her glasses. Yep. That's it. So do you remember what the room looked like at the beginning, right? So we moved these shelves into them. And when we were finished, it kind of looked like this. On one side, wait. Whoops. Same picture. Well, a bit different picture, but yeah. Jackie had some donations.
And those girls had no sheets, no blankets, no pillows. So we went shopping and got them blankets and pillows and comforters.
My brothers and sisters, it's probably that night was probably the first night they'd ever slept in a bed that had sheets. Because you know those chucks I showed you that they use as beds, that's what they put on top of their, as bibs.
On top of their mattresses.
That's what they sleep on. Okay, so now we have done the community room. We did the kitchen. We went down the hallway. We cleaned the hallway and did the girls' room. Now, there's another building where the boys have to live in because they can't live together. I have never been back there. He doesn't let anybody back there.
The reason why he lets Teresa back there is, she told you, because he said she felt called. God called her to come to do that work. He trusts her. It took a lot for him even to trust me to go back there. And he let Sister Ursula go back there too because of Teresa. Ursula had never been back there either.
Yeah, she's been down there for like 20 years. She's never been back there. There's a room you walk into, and that's where they, like Jackie said, there's 3 men in wheelchairs. That's where they eat. You come through that, and then you're in a room right here, and a room on this side and this side, and the bathroom's over in the corner. You walk into the place and you can barely stand the smell. You can't understand the smell. Yeah. So we walked into this room, and floor's all wet. It's just, so what do? You start cleaning the walls and painting. But now we've been there for about a week and a half, and they know what we're going to do. So the guys come in and they've got the rags and they're using the.
They want to help.
Yeah.
Because they want the rooms done. These guys want their bedroom done.
And so this is the front room, and this is like where they would eat.
And see that Christmas tree? They were so proud of that Christmas tree. And it couldn't stand up straight because it only had 2 legs.
Yeah, it was on another three. And so we were down there during December. So, and these are those 2 men. That's Cain and Abel. One time the pastor goes, yeah, the guys came running to him and say, they're fighting, they're fighting. So he thought they were going to be fighting in the chair. Well, heck no. They had knocked each other out of the chair and they're going at it, rolling across the floor. They're brothers. So this guy right here, that's really, he had a black eye. Got him.
And that's David helping them.
Yeah.
He brings their food over for them all the time.
And you notice what he's putting together. So once we taught them how to put those shelves together, we got those shelves and they would put shelves together for each of the rooms. And the rooms were just kind of bad. They have nothing in there to keep anything off the floor. And it's wet. And all but 2 of them are in adult pants. Adult
Diapers.
Yeah, I don't know there's got to be a better word than
Pull-ups.
diapers. Pull-ups. But you go in there and the floor's all wet and they're on the floor. And look at this mattress. That's their mattress. And it's just really bad.
Very bad.
So you just have to start cleaning. And so we did. And Jackie hasn't come back here yet because, well, she kind of does that front room a little bit. So we just kept cleaning and putting stuff up and painting walls. Until it looked like that. I know, right?
And they would sit and smile when you got their room finished. They were just,
Yeah.
and they couldn't wait. They wanted their room done first. They kept saying, my room.
Yeah. There's 3 or 4 of them live in each of the rooms. And they learned how to we found them those crates and they put all this stuff off the floor into the crates. And you still see, they don't have any sheets or anything on their bed. They just sleep on them. Okay, wait. I want to go back. Jill, how do I go back? Wait, she's coming. I got it. Okay. So I go to this last room, and this is the room where the men are in the wheelchairs, right? And they can't leave that area, so they sit there all day and watch me paint and clean. They just sit there and watch.
Yep.
And so I told them, I'll get to your room because this room, and theirs was the next. But my brothers and sisters, we ran out of time.
Down to the last day.
We went to Bernie, and that took one of the days. And I didn't know if I should go to Bernie or to paint. I went to Bernie.
Well, Sister Ursula would have been very disappointed if we wouldn't have gone to meet her community.
So I got there, and there's not a lot of electricity in that room. So I'm thinking, how am I going to even paint this room? I can't even
There was
see it.
no electricity.
So I thought I'll just get my phone and I'll put my phone light up there. I don't know. So I couldn't really see what I was getting into. So I went and I asked in the community room, there's about 5 or 6 people in there. I need a lamp. Yo necesito una lampa. ¿Dónde está una lampa? No hay. Like, there's not a lamp here? Nosotros no tiene. Y'all don't have a lamp in all of this. No, no tiene. So I said this. Dios, yo necesito una lampa ahorita. God, I need a lamp now. And they did exactly what y'all did. They just kind of laughed at me. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to go in there and I'm just going to take my phone and put it in there. My brothers and sisters, we've been there for almost 4 weeks, and we've driven in this parking lot every day.
Every day.
I come out, and I am not joking. I come out, and I'm walking to the other building, and I'm walking. There's a lamp right here in front of the car. Like, oh my gosh, there's a lamp.
God heard her prayer.
You gotta be careful for what you pray for because this lamp is real shankety. First, it's got this 2x4 to keep it level so it doesn't fall over. And I had to keep the lamp up here because if you turned it, it would fall. But God gave me a lamp.
There was light.
Yeah. So my brother and sister are like, get it over there, and I plug it in. And I see. Oh, and I unplug it. I was done. There was nothing left inside of me to handle what I had to do. I was done. I was done. So I'm sitting there thinking, God, I cannot do this. And as I am looking at this, I see the men in the wheelchair right here. God, I don't know how to do this. And in my head, I hear God say, put your hands in the bucket and wash the walls. Put your hands in the bucket and wash the walls. So I plugged it back in. My brothers and sisters, this is what I see. There's feces all over the floor, feces all over the walls. Because you know those men in the wheelchair? If you notice right here, that's a step. And this is where the bathrooms are. How are they going to get to the bathrooms in a wheelchair? So they would just come there and they would just pee over the side into that hallway. These are grown men. And when they had a dirty pull-up or diaper, whatever you want to call it, and there's nobody back there to help them, they're going to get it out. And now they've got it all over their hands. And what are you going to do with that? Wipe it on the walls. Jackie comes back there. Jackie's doing something else. Jackie comes. I said, Jackie, look at me. Just look at me. Don't look at me. Because I did not want her to have to see this. That's a bunch of PTSD right there.
Yeah, makes you cry.
It was bad. So I get Jackie out of there and I'm thinking, okay, just start washing. So I just started washing the wall. And I would sweep and clean this area, wash the wall, go get some clean water. And I started painting and washing the floor. And it's just not once. It's not just to do it once. And I only had like this much time. I only had from when we got there at 9 and I saw this about 9:30 till about 3 because we had to leave.
One day.
All the time I had. So even when there's a bunch of shit that you have to clean up, you just do it. What's the other option? What's the other option? And Pastor Paulino, he says, oh, because I only had that one day. I said, I'm going to try to get that room. He says, don't worry about the room. They're okay.
Yeah, they lived in that room all those years. So, and they couldn't talk. So how could they say, do something?
And what's the dignity of that person if you paint everybody else's and you don't do theirs?
Well, they sat there in the door and watched her the whole time. Those two guys, they did not move. They sat there and watched.
This was the bathrooms. We threw it in there because I was going to tell you that they couldn't go. And that right here is where the toilet sits. However, there's not a toilet. So they would just, it's different than the way we live, at least in this part of the world, in the United States. There are probably places in the United States that have to do the same thing. Check out that room, people. And right now, those floors are as clean as the monasteries. You can eat off those.
They were clean. And those guys are smiling big.
Yeah. So that's what it ended up looking like. And this is like, that was him. I mean, they were so proud of what we had done.
They were. I'd love to see those rooms now.
Jackie. I'm
thinking they're going to try to keep it clean.
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
They're trying. They're making an effort. Aren't you, Abel? Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do I need to do something, share it, or I'm going to show this last video. So when I left, so remember some people had given us some money for this, and so Paulino, he wanted to thank them, so I'm recording it, and he says something to the effect of, because you got to remember, I'm the first one that he's allowed. He says, if this sister Teresa wants to bring friends down, please come and help. That's my next goal, is to bring us down there to help. Y'all doing okay up there in, what is that called? Zoom land? Okay, I got one more video I want to show you. This is a before and after. David. And it looks so much different now, my brothers and sisters. It's just so different.
See, behind that door is where the men and women who are in wheelchairs live. So they're about 4.
I'll wait for you.
Okay, we're going to start from the beginning. All right, here we go, folks.
I will fight. I will fight for you. I always do until my heart is black and blue. And I will stay with you. We'll make it to the other side like lovers do. I'll reach my hands out in the dark and wait for yours to enter like I wait for you. I'll wait for you. 'Cause I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down on my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. I always do until my heart is black and blue.
Well, do y'all have any questions or anything? Jackie's really good about answering. There's I need to ask you get community to do this, but I put the Women of the Rural grant. I asked for a grant so that Jackie and I will go back down there, and so let's say it's going to be for a month and a half, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And the first week, we would allow our employees to go down and they would get it all set up. This is what you need to do here, 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 and here, because they've got like 3 other buildings. So, and then next week, maybe have the Oblates come down. The next week, Women of the Rural. The next week, our alumni. The next week, our volunteers. The next week, people who are looking at our way of life. So that, because like we say, this is the monastery. These are the sisters of Saint Benedict. And this is what our mission is. Our mission is to go out and help people. Am I right? And y'all are supposed to help us, right? So if this is us, and we have the oblates and the alumni and the volunteers, our employees and vocations, everybody's comes down and work for one project. Can you imagine? This is just what 2 of us did. Can you imagine what we could do with 60 of us? So anyway, I'm praying for that. So that's what I'd like to do. Will it happen? I don't know. But now y'all know, and y'all know what y'all need to do. So, anyway, Jackie, anything else?
I was thinking of something and I've already forgotten it, but nope, I think that's it.
Y'all have any questions for us? Yes, ma'am. Linda, it just needs to push the power button in the middle. Yes. Then they can hear you on the TV. You got it, baby.
Have you shown this to your students in the learning?
Yes.
And what was their feelings?
And so just to tell about the kids downtown, I told them I was going to go down there and I said, I need $5. Can each of you give me $5? Because I want to be God's hand, but I need your help. I need 5. And so they ended up giving me close to almost like $700. Just these kids giving me 5s and 10s, just because I didn't want to ask the parish. Because really, I wanted it to be between the kids and I. And so, and then,
Yep. And then they wrote something on hands, prayer, or we wish you this, or whatever. And every morning on the way across the bridge from Texas to Mexico, we would read 5 of those, what the youth had to say.
yeah.
And it was beautiful, very, very heartwarming and encouraging. And we said, let's read the next 5. So we kept reading 5 every day, every day.
So when I got back to when we came home, Jackie and I went down there and gave a similar presentation.
And we thanked them for their hands,
Yeah, for being.
for those prayers.
Mhm.
One thing we didn't talk about is crossing that doggone bridge. Coming over in the morning to work was very simple. We go through the Mexico. They didn't have ice. The police, they'd send us right on. Coming back over to the United States, sometimes we sat there 3 or 4 hours waiting to get back into Texas, because I don't know what they were doing up there to keep it. They would send everybody into one lane instead of, they had about 4 ways to go in, but they pushed us all into one. So then they would search what you got in your car. What did you do over there? What do you got in those? You got in those garbage bags in the back of the car, And we would take the laundry over to wash in the what in Texas,
yeah.
in the laundromat. We'd go, and usually we had 8 or 9 wash machines going.
We were talking about those big old washing machines that have like 2 or 3 loads.
So we had a lot of dirty clothes. And Teresa said, if I were you, I wouldn't check because it's dirty clothes and they're pretty smelly.
And he goes, go ahead. Because you wouldn't believe the smell.
Yeah.
And then the next day, he goes, you still have those clothes? I said, yeah. He goes, go ahead.
So nearly every day we took some over to wash. And the last day we were there, before the last day, David kept bringing more and more dirty clothes. And I said, no, David, we'll only take 3 bags today. But he had about 10 bags out there. And I'd already sorted through and picked out the ones I thought we should wash because I thought they could wear those. Well, he kept wanting us to do all of the dirty clothes. Now, where the men slept, there was a big hallway behind that last bedroom. And in that hallway, the clothes were stacked up halfway up, all to the wall, halfway up the wall with dirty clothes. I don't know if they were dirty or clean, but that whole hall was filled with clothes. And he wanted us to wash all of them. And I said, no, David, just 3 bags. And by the time we left, he had about 5 out there, and I said, no, 3. So I don't know what he did with the rest of them, but.
So Jackie wouldn't go over every day. She would go and help at other places around. And so the first few days, I brought back the laundry without telling Jackie.
Yep, she did.
Because there's a thing about it was so bad. Oh, we didn't want Jackie to have to go through that. And then she called us one time because I would bring in the new clean clothes in these big old garbage bags. And then Jackie saw them putting more in the truck. And so we would go to the laundromat and those huge things, we would just, because, and so for a while, they'll have clean clothes to put on, you know? It won't be long, but for maybe a month or 2, they'll have clean clothes.
Yeah.
So what other question?
What do they do for drinking water?
I didn't hear.
I did. Oh, sorry. What did they do for drinking water?
So, they did bring in a gallon thing and they would drink that, but most of the time, they would go, there's a little spigot and they would just wait till those jugs would get filled.
There's a spigot outside of their area where they could fill their water containers.
And so people will say, well, why don't we just give them a washer and a dryer? Well, they don't have the water and they don't have the electricity and they don't have the soap. So when we left them with new mops, Fabiosas, like there were 5-gallon jugs. We could lift those, lots of medicine, left them with lots of stuff to handle the bugs.
Brooms and mops
And so, just a side note, people gave us money to go down there. These residents have never had money. And so when we left, the two and 3 that helped feed, we gave them some money. And you would have thought it was like,
it was about $5 then.
it was about 10 or 15.
Oh.
But still, their own money.
Yeah. Well, David got some and.
We ended up splitting up $100 between them. And so like, it wasn't a lot. So, but you would have thought it was a lot.
Yep. David had a billfold. I don't know where he got it, but that money went in his billfold and that stuck in his pocket. He was so thrilled. He had a little money in his billfold.
Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
How did you learn about this place?
How did we learn? I think, Beth, you know, the Benedictines and Bernie, it's just kind of in everybody's mind that they have a place down south.
I think it requested help.
And at the time we were doing this thing called Service to Sisterhood. And so young women would come and stay the summer with us. And so those were the first people I took down to have a mission experience. And then I kind of knew them. Agnes has gone with me, Gail.
Gail's gone 2 or 3 times.
And so we just kind of go down there and help.
Anne Marie went.
Yeah. So some of us have been down there.
Not too many people have been in Casa Bethesda. They didn't get into any area that Teresa went in to clean. Anybody that came there would stay in one open outdoor area. So while we were there, several groups had Christmas parties for them, but they never entered into the buildings. They stayed out in the outer area. So they weren't allowed in.
No. Go. So I can say go.
Thank you for your great witness.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's just end this in prayer. Loving God. Hey, Jackie, where you going? We're praying here.
Get the prayers.
Loving God, I just thank you for this ability to go and being able to do this with Jackie. God, I hope that you have opened up our hearts and our minds just to love your kids in a more deeper, fuller way. God, whatever you are calling us to do or leading us to do, I ask that you just let us be your hands and your feet and help us to do it. In your name we pray. Amen.
And we have another prayer here. It's a social justice prayer. We had a class with St. Anthony called Just Faith. And these are some of the prayers we had from Just Faith. May have to share. I don't know. It's only 30 copies. Rebecca, I need to keep one of those.
I got it, Jackie.
Okay.
What are you doing?
If you notice where it says participant, there's a response for the men and a response for the women. Okay, let's start. You want to read the scripture? The 20th century was an age of revolution and technological discoveries, an age of wars and genocide, a time of great darkness and enlightenment, an age of prophets, martyrs, and witnesses. Imagine the 20th century without the light of even one of these faithful witnesses. They are hope against hope to guide and inspire us in the 21st century. In this prayer, we call on these witnesses of hope for our time to pray for us, to be salt to our world, and to be light to our eyes. Matthew chapter 5. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how can its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything, but is thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A city built on a hill cannot be hid.
You are the salt of the earth. But if salt has lost its taste, how can its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything, but is thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A city built on a hill cannot be hid, and no one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under a bushel basket, but on the lampstand, and it gives light to all the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to the Father in heaven.
Charles de Foucauld, hermit of the desert. Raisa Maritain, contemplative poet. Raoul Willenberg, rescuer of Jews. Mother Teresa, servant of the poorest. Mohandas Gandhi, great soul of peace. Flannery O'Connor, writer and mystic. Peter Marin, philosopher, Catholic worker. Molly Rogers, founder of Maryknoll Sisters. Albert Schweitzer, healer and teacher. Fannie Lou Hamer, civil rights prophet. Thomas Merton, contemplative writer. Dorothy Day, Catholic worker, peace activist. Oscar Romero, Archbishop, martyr of San Salvador. Alicia Doman, leader of Mothers of the Disappeared. Martin Luther King Jr., prophet of liberation. Mev Puleo, photographer, eyewitness for the poor. Clarence Jordan, farmer and reconciler. Thea Bowman, African American sister. Helder Camara, prophetic poet and bishop. All you holy men and women, salt and light for our world. If you think of your own life, who was salt and light in your world? Try to think of some of those people in the 21st century that you might have read about or know about. Think about them and give thanks. Thanks for these people and thanks for the people today. And hopefully we can give thanks for each of you because you are salt and light for the world. And thank you for being here today.